Millions of people buy one every single day, and most of them never think twice about it. But once you understand why it exists, you start to realize that Japan's convenience stores are not just convenience stores. They are something far more interesting than that. In this video, we're going to find out. Welcome to Japan Trend Quiz, where we explore the things about Japan that surprise even people who've lived there for years. Today, we're going inside the secret rulebook of Japan's Konbini, the convenience stores you find on practically every corner in Japanese cities. We're talking about 7-Eleven, Lawson, FamilyMart. And these are not like the gas station snack shops you know from back home. These places run on a system so precise, so layered with rules, that most customers move through it every day without realizing it's there. By the end of this video, you'll know why perfectly good food used to get thrown away by the ton, why one store owner became a national hero for something completely obvious, and why the same sandwich costs more money to eat inside the store than outside. And I'll ask you a question near the end that only 1 in 10 people gets right. Let's start with what a Japanese konbini actually is, because if you haven't been to Japan, the word convenience store really doesn't do it justice. In the United States or Europe, a convenience store is where you grab a bag of chips or a warm bottle of water at 2 in the morning. That's the whole value proposition. You tolerate it because nothing else is open. In Japan, a konbini is a destination you actually want to visit. At a Japanese 7-Eleven or Lawson, you can pay your electricity bill, pick up concert tickets, send a package through a national courier system, use a full-service copy machine, file certain kinds of tax documents, withdraw cash from an ATM with 0 fees, and eat a full hot meal, all within about 600 square feet, usually before 8 in the morning. There are roughly 55,000 konbini across Japan, more stores per person than almost anywhere else on Earth. Every major chain has its own in-house food product development team releasing new items every single week of the year. And Japanese 7-Eleven is not even owned by the same company as American 7-Eleven anymore. Japan acquired the parent company back in 1991. That is how central konbini culture is to Japanese daily life. Because these stores are visited by millions of people every day, there is a layer of rules underneath the cheerful, spotless, efficient konbini experience that most customers never see. Rules about temperature, rules about packaging, rules about timing, tax, age verification, and how the food is displayed. Some of these rules come from Japanese food safety law. Some come from corporate policy. And at least one set of rules lasted for decades and produced one of the biggest food waste controversies in Japanese modern history. We'll get to all of it. But let's start with the most tactile, everyday example: the onigiri wrapper. Onigiri are rice balls, usually triangular, usually wrapped in seaweed, filled with something like salmon, pickled plum, or tuna mayo. They are the single most iconic konbini food in Japan, and every chain sells dozens of varieties. If you've ever bought one and tried to open it, you've noticed the numbers. Tab 1 at the top, tab 2 on the left side, tab 3 on the right side. Pull them in that sequence and you get a clean, crispy, perfect bite. Go off script. Try to tear it open like a regular package, and you end up with shredded plastic and a crumbling, soggy mess. Here's your first quiz question. Japanese konbini onigiri wrappers have a numbered 1, 2, 3 tier sequence. What is the primary reason for this design? Think about it for a moment. The answer might surprise you. The answer is to keep the nori crispy. Nori, dried seaweed, absorbs moisture extremely fast. If you wrap nori directly against warm cooked rice, it becomes soft and chewy within a few hours at room temperature. Japanese customers consider that to be a fundamentally different and inferior eating experience. So the people who engineer Konbini packaging developed a wrapper with a hidden inner layer. The nori sits in its own sealed compartment, completely separated from the rice, until the moment you eat it. When you pull tab 1 from the top, then tabs 2 and 3 down each side, you're peeling the outer wrapper away in a motion that simultaneously brings the nori into contact with the rice for the very first time, right as you're about to eat. The seaweed wraps around the rice seconds before it reaches your mouth. That is how you get a crispy rice ball at room temperature, many hours after it was made. The engineering solves a problem most customers never knew existed, because the solution works so well, you never experience the problem in the first place. That level of precision in packaging is not unusual in a Japanese konbini. It is the standard. And it shows up in places you'd never expect, including in how the Japanese food distribution system managed its entire supply chain for decades. Here's your second quiz question, and this one is about a rule that sounds like it couldn't possibly be real. Japan's food distribution industry operated for a long time under an informal but industry-wide convention called the 1/3 rule. Under this rule, a product's total shelf life was divided into thirds. If a yogurt had a 90-day shelf life, when was it no longer allowed to be sold in a retail store? Was it after 60 days, with 30 days of shelf life still perfectly intact? After 45 days, right at the halfway point? Or right at the very end of its 90 days? Think about it. The answer is 60 days, with a full 30 days of shelf life still remaining. Here's how the rule worked. Manufacturers had to deliver their products to wholesalers within the first 30 days of the product's life. Wholesalers then had to get those products to retailers within the next 30 days. That left the final 30 days, a full 1/3 of the product's total shelf life, as the window for actual retail sale to customers. But if a product arrived at a store even one day past that 2/3 deadline, the retailer was expected to refuse the shipment and send it all the way back. And because the entire supply chain was calibrated right at the edge of those deadlines, refusals happened regularly. Yogurt with 30 days of perfectly safe, perfectly edible life remaining was rejected, returned, and eventually discarded. The Japanese government began formally pushing to change this rule around 2013 and 2015, encouraging the industry to move toward a more sensible standard that gave food more of its actual shelf life to work with. Many major companies have since shifted toward that approach. But for decades, this is how Japan's food system worked and didn't work. Japan has a word, Mottainai. It roughly translates as "what a waste," a feeling of regret, even a kind of shame about discarding something that still has value. It captures something genuinely embedded in Japanese culture, the idea that you use things fully, that you respect the resources and effort that went into making something. That waste is, in a quiet way, a moral failure. You hear Mottainai in everyday conversation. Children are raised with it. It is one of those concepts that native English speakers often wish they had a direct translation for. And yet, Japan discards approximately 5 to 6 million tons of edible food every single year. That figure comes from the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries, which publishes it annually. It places Japan among the highest per capita food waste figures in the developed world. And the Konbini system sits right at the center of it. Even food that successfully made it through the distribution system and onto a Konbini shelf faced another set of rules that worked against it. Konbini bento boxes, sandwiches, and onigiri are pulled from shelves 2 to 3 hours before the time printed on the label. If your onigiri says used by 10 p.m., it was off the shelf by 7, sometimes earlier. The food is still perfectly safe to eat at that point. The chain simply does not allow it to remain on display that close to its deadline. From a brand consistency standpoint, you can understand the logic. But it means that a massive volume of safe, sellable food is removed from sale across 55,000 stores every single day. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you next is the part that most people find hardest to believe. Here's your third quiz question. For decades, the franchise agreements at Japan's major konbini chains effectively prohibited store owners from doing one specific thing with food that was about to be removed from shelves and thrown away. What was it? Was it donating it to food banks, selling it to staff at a discount, or marking it down for customers? Think about it. The answer is marking it down for customers, discounting it. Franchise agreements, especially at 7-Eleven Japan, effectively banned store owners from putting discount stickers on near-expiry food. The official reasoning was brand protection. Headquarters did not want their stores to feel like bargain shops. They wanted a consistent, premium experience at every location. An unsold onigiri at 7 in the evening went into the trash at full price, and the franchise owner absorbed the financial loss. Not because the owner wanted to throw it away, because the rules said they had to, until one man pushed back. In 2009, a 7-Eleven franchise owner in Higashi Osaka, Mitoshi Matsumoto, started discounting his oden and his onigiri close to their pull time. He wasn't making a political statement. He was trying not to throw away food that people could eat. 7-Eleven. Japan responded by warning him that he was in violation of his franchise agreement and threatening to cancel his contract entirely. The story broke publicly and spread fast. The Japanese public sided overwhelmingly with Matsumoto, because when you say it out loud, it sounds obviously right. Japan's Fair Trade Commission launched a formal investigation into whether the discount ban constituted an anti-competitive practice. The investigation found the policy problematic. By the late 2010s, discounting near-expiry konbini food had become far more accepted across the industry. But for decades before that, the operating philosophy of Japan's convenience store system was, waste is preferable to a discount. In the country of Mottainai. Here's your fourth quiz question, and this one shifts gears a little. When a customer at a Japanese konbini wants to buy alcohol, a beer, a bottle of sake, anything, the cashier's register is physically unable to complete the sale until the customer does one specific thing. What is it? Do they need to show identification, write something on a form, or press a button? The answer is press a button. A touchscreen prompt appears on the customer-facing terminal at the register. It says, approximately, I confirm that I am of legal drinking age. In Japan, the legal drinking age is 20. You must press this button. Not nod at it. Not gesture toward it. Press it, physically, on the screen. The cashier's terminal is locked until that button is pressed, and the transaction cannot proceed. It does not matter if you are obviously in your 40s or 50s. The system does not evaluate appearance. Everyone presses the button. No press, no sale. This is a nationwide standard across all major chains, a mechanical, hardware-level enforcement of age verification that removes cashier discretion from the equation entirely. And that's actually very consistent with how Japan designs a lot of its systems. Take the human judgment out, make compliance part of the physical process, and it becomes nearly impossible to skip. There are a few more konbini rules worth knowing. Smaller ones, but they show you the texture of how the system actually works when you're standing in it. Walk up to any major konbini refrigerated display and look at the packaged sandwiches. Every single one is positioned with the sliced edge facing outward. You can see the filling cross-section through the clear packaging. the layers of egg, ham, cucumber, whatever it is, before you even touch the package. This is a standardized display rule across all major chains, not a regional preference or an individual store's habit. The reasoning is straightforward. Customers can see the filling without handling the product, which means fewer opened packages, fewer returns, and higher satisfaction. The rule sounds simple until you realize it's codified into staff training, enforced at every location, and built into the expectations of every food supplier manufacturing sandwiches for Konbini shelves. Every sandwich is cut to produce the right cross-section for that exact display position. When you bring cold and hot items to the register together, the staff will place them in separate bags without being asked. Cold in one bag, hot in another. No explanation, no ceremony. It's standard training at every major chain. The thermal logic is simple. You don't want a hot Nicoman raising the temperature of your iced coffee, but the instinct to do it automatically, every time, is the result of training that runs very deep across these organizations. And since July 2020, every Konbini cashier also asks whether you want a plastic shopping bag, because Japan now mandates a charge for them, typically 3 to 5 yen per bag. The question is asked every time, at every transaction, regardless of how obvious the answer might seem. It's a small thing, but it fits the pattern. Another layer of procedural consistency built into a transaction that, in most other countries, takes about 8 seconds. Here's your 5th and final quiz question. And this is the one that only about 1 in 10 people answers correctly, because it involves a rule that sounds like it shouldn't exist. Since Japan's consumption tax reform in October 2019, the same food item at the same Konbini carries a different tax rate depending on where you eat it. If you buy a sandwich at a Japanese Konbini and eat it sitting at the in-store counter, what tax rate do you pay? And how does that compare to taking the exact same sandwich outside to eat? The answer is 10% for eating in versus 8% for takeout. When Japan raised its consumption tax from 8 to 10%, the government kept a reduced 8% rate for food purchased to take out of a store. But if you intend to consume the same food on the premises, at the in-store seats or counter, the full 10% applies. This created a widely recognized situation that is essentially unenforceable at the individual level. Customers sitting at in-store counters would tell the cashier, "Takeout," to pay the lower rate, because the cashier has no practical way to verify where you actually eat your sandwich. The chains were placed in the position of needing to ask a question they cannot verify and enforce a rule about consumer intent. The result is a formal, legally real tax distinction that coexists comfortably with quiet, widespread non-compliance, which is, honestly, one of the more distinctly Japanese situations you will encounter anywhere. So here is what we learned today. Japan's Konbini onigiri wrappers use a numbered 3-step tier sequence, specifically engineered to keep seaweed crispy by separating it from rice until the moment of eating. Japan's food distribution industry operated for decades under a 1/3 rule that discarded food with a full 30 days of shelf life remaining, and a franchise system that banned discount stickers on food about to go straight in the trash. And a single franchise owner in Higashi, Osaka, became a national figure by doing the completely obvious thing of trying not to waste perfectly good food. The Konbini is not a corner store. It is a precision-engineered food and retail system, running on rules so internalized and so detailed that most people who use it every day have no idea it exists. And now you do. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. We post new Japan discoveries every week. Next week, we're looking at the unwritten rules of Japanese train etiquette. And there are more of them than you think. And breaking just one of them will earn you a look that you will not forget. Thanks for watching Japan Trend Quiz. I'll see you in the next one.